Okay, guys. Okay. I've done a live stream where I was talking about the things that happened in court today. But then there is something that Professor Moya has added in this conversation. He has uh, revealed certain things that I did not look into. You know what I'm saying? So I thought, you know what, it is a great idea that we can go back and have a chat about it and talk about each and everything that this person has revealed. Now, I'll break it down. Don't worry, I'll break it down. But this is what he said. Breaking news: the IEC tells the court that President Zuma was convicted of a crime. Which crime? Yeah, that's the first question. Case number. Second question. Court case. Third question. We continue to witness abuse of power, yet we know victory is certain. Now, I thought this is, I found this very quite interesting. I found this very quite interesting. Now, let me repeat the question that he asked here, which I want you to meditate on them. Right? Number one. Okay, let's start here. He says, breaking news. The IEC tells the court that President Zuma was convicted of a crime. Then he says, number one, which crime? Number two, what was the case number? We want the case number. Number three, we want the court case. What was the court case? We continue to witness an abuse of power, yet we know the victory is certain. And then he says, let's be honest, ANC government hates black people. President Zuma attended the Zondo Commission and then, okay, he says everything that follows after that. Now, before I proceed with this quite interesting discussion, I am putting it to you that you do the following. If you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free, to like the video it is free, to comment in the comment section below it is free of charge, to click the notification bell it is free of charge, to share this video it is free of charge, to watch this video until the end it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contribution to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the Super Thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel, and you know what I'm saying? Will bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. Okay, now let's continue to have this discussion, right? So he has asked these questions: what was the case number, court case, which crime? Okay, so a crime can be alleged to have happened, but then for it to be registered, it has to be registered with the South African Police Service, which will automatically produce a case number. From that case number, then we can have a court case. The question is all of those things. If you listen to this argument, those are some of the things that Advocate Dalimbov has alluded that, listen, these are some of the things that we need to discuss here. There were processes that were not followed here. There were due processes that were not followed. Okay, let's proceed, because I found some of the things that he said, guys, quite interesting. Let me put this here. Yes, thank you very much. I'm being reminded that the batteries, yeah. Now, he then wrote a second post and said, Advocate Dalimbov with exceptional skill, mystery, and wisdom, eloquent, dismantled the argument of the IEC judgment on Zuma. Talking about Advocate Dalimbov in the case of today, I was so impressed with his. When you are talking, we are looking at argument, we are looking at agility, we are looking at energy, you are looking at preparedness, you're looking at, you know what I'm saying, the skill on how to deliver your points. let's not deprive the man his credit. No, the man can argue. Give credit when it is due. The man can argue. But nevertheless, he says, the great advocate Dalimpofu even rebuked advocate Ngugai Toby with a holy verse says, yeah, for my blood of the New Testament. Hey, yeah, there. Yeah, my favorite underscore dooms. My favorite part of Dalimpofu's argument is the electoral court. My favorite part of Dalimpofu's argument in the electoral code is that he says Jacob Zuma is eligible to be candidate because Ramaphosa gave him a shorter sentence, which I will need to say something on this one. Remember that what was argued in court is that as per the if I understand it very correctly, as per the rules and regulation of the IEC, you will not, no one is eligible to, or you are ineligible to go to parliament if you had any look, if you've got a judgment that was handed to you where you were supposed to serve, and that judgment was more than 12 months. So that's why the argument was, okay, yes, he was sentenced, but for how many months? They don't even argue whether he was convicted or not. They are saying he was sentenced, but he served how many months? So that's why the issue of the duration becomes important, because when that is discussed and argued correctly, so Jacob Zuma only served 3 months. So, in other words, as per the regulation of the IEC, he is still eligible to go there, campaign, because he has served only 3 months, and that thing says 12 months, right? So that's why more than 12 months, you know what I'm saying? Let's read another one. The African Research Desk says, that is why the Zuma matter is a constitutional anomaly, right? A man who was looking for a promotion made a legal mess. In an unprecedented move, the Constitutional Court took a matter of contempt of court as a court of first instance. Furthermore, instead of choosing a conciseness, I don't know, because I think I forgot to look to look more, to read more on this one. But I'm interested also in what he says here. The research desk, they are saying, listen, or he's saying, listen, somebody was looking for a promotion, so they were just willing to do anything just to get that promotion. Thus, in the process, a blunder was committed. Right. What's your take? I think this, if you read this one, in reference to the first one where they says court case number, crime, right? So if you read the two posts or the 2 tweets, you can get something from there, right? There was a blunder. Processes were not followed for the why. I don't know. Okay, upindile Professor Moya uthi breaking advocate. Look, the advocate of the IAC case against Jacob Zuma was caught spinning off the meaning of remit, forcing it to only be deduced or reduced. He hates when the judge says also means cancelled. I remember the judge, they even put a definition, by the way. The definition of that posted by Moya Uti. The definition says that if I need to remember, let me remind you, remember the argument in court was about whether or not Jacob Zuma served the more than either from 12 months or more than, right? So he was pardoned just when he had served 3 months, right? So in other words, you can count it from the beginning until the end of 3 months. That was the argument brought by advocate Dalimpov. But then Mugaitobi was arguing that no, for the fact that he was sentenced to more than 12 months or 15 months, then we should count it that way. It is regardless of the fact that he was pardoned before he could serve this whole thing to its completion. Do you understand where we're going? So if you understand that, the issue of reduced, and all the stuff it therefore makes a lot of sense to say, if he was pardoned only when he had served 3 months, you can't count the rest. Did not serve. Hey, Yabona, today we will learn to argue the technicalities of things. That is one of the lessons that I've learned today. But nevertheless, Utessa underscore Dooms team. So the ANC still has not expelled Jacob Zuma. So their member is in the electoral court fighting to be candidate of another political party. Hey, don't call me. I'm not involved. I didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? The judge summed it up nicely. The IEC has no case to defend against Jacob Mhlanganyelwa Zuma. Hey! Jacob Zuma was thrown into parliament the whole day, only to wake up like a transformer, have a lovely roadside press conference, repeating what he said in court, but in Zulu. He also says that he didn't finish the second term. Therefore, what regulation does apply to what regulation does it what's in it? That whole regulation doesn't apply to him. Plus, that he has the right to preside over his own party. He then flew. Yay. We will talk about that. It's something that worth a discussion of its own. It's a very interesting part where Jacob Zuma is taking us to. Remember, this comes after I think I'll always quote this guy. I think Mzwanele Mbecha on the SAPC, a political journalist. He said that there are 2 people who will never be president in this country again. He says 1 Mbeki, 2 Zuma, and Zuma says no, I didn't finish my term. Who said I can't be the president? Hey. So that's why I always tell you, when it comes to Zuma, you never know what's coming, right? He can surprise you at any given time. And then you get, to live for Uti. IAC said, Ngugaitobi came and can deal with your own mess of incarcerating President Jacob Zuma for a civil matter without any option of appeal. I was so happy watching that sellout of a lawyer biting his own tongue, failing to locate his own argument. Yeah, you're totally. Let me keep quiet. Hey, now let's sue him. Yeah. Hey, Agnamali. Kanamali. Hey. Even after intense scrutiny and interrogation by justice plurally, the angles still remain opposed, respectful, and fully responsive. Tembeka Ngugaitobe remain one of the best legal minds to ever came from this country. The IEC is winning the case pretty clear. That is from Constitution _94. Okay. And then new Zuma law is being created. Established lawyers are trying to pretend not knowing the meaning of remission of sentence. It's all because it's President Jacob Zuma, nothing else. I respect the man from Kandla. Right. The MK versus IEC case is straightforward. Remission cut Zuma's sentence by 12 months. He had effective sentence of 3 months. He qualified to be on the ballot. End of the story. Right. At Bongles Oti, I am watching Zuma now saying he didn't finish 2 terms. So, if the majority wants him, who will stop him? This man is far from done with us, whether we like it or not. Hey, yo. Okay. Umbo Junior 999 Uti. When did Jacob Zuma complete his sentence? Lol, the goat is struggling to answer. Mpofu will come and hammer on that on that watch. He did, guys. Hey, my ear is itching. He did. He did on that one. I was there. I saw him. But there's a political journalist as well on SAPC called Sofim Kwena reposted the following by at Coco underscore Machela. Yes, I think, is it Coco, the one I know? Engineer Machela Coco, I think he says objectively, these are top legal brains, meaning look, advocate Ngogaitobi, no advocate Dalimpof, right? Okay, I will not comment much on that one. I haven't followed Ungogaitobi to the core, so I wouldn't necessarily discredit or credit him. I will be lying if I say, this is, you know what I'm saying? Just because he's on the opposition side, it doesn't necessarily equate to him being a failure. That's me being just objective. I always say, even when a lawyer or any person is on the opposite side of where or of people that I support at the moment or at that particular moment, I always say, give me something that will convince me otherwise, irrespective of the oppositions or irrespective of the side you are serving on, right? So that I will have a reason to say, you know what, in as much as you were on the opposition side when I favored 1, 2, and 3, but you still give it all. And because of that, you are worth hiring if I were to be your client. So in other words, one has got to reason like you are going to be a client of somebody of some sort, or you are looking for a client. And the best way you can achieve that it is by giving your all when you are given a chance to deliver what you need to deliver. That is exactly what I am learning. But on the other hand, you know, when you speak about today's proceeding, Jacob Zuma versus the IEC, who's going to be the president or not, Jacob Zuma has taught me this, and I will forever, cherish this lesson that, you know what, I've learned this lesson, and there's something that I think I need to practice on my on myself, and that is to say, in life, it doesn't matter how many times you get kicked. It doesn't matter who's beating you. It doesn't matter how many times you are getting beaten. It doesn't matter how life is throwing you down. But you just have to remain focused and look at under an intense situation, under a severe pressure, or being attacked, or no matter how you are being attacked, you just have to remain focused and look at the loophole in that state or in that under that circumstances. That is what I've learned, that you need to focus on a positive side. For instance, let me qualify that argument by saying, if you're looking at Jacob Zuma, the way he reasons and the way he does things is that he's shown me that all of this time he was busy looking at all of these things and studying. Every time I was given a judgment against him, he will look at it and be like, there's a chance that I can deal with this and make it work on my weakness or on my favor, right? It reminds me of the verse in the Bible that is found in the book of Romans chapter 8 verse 28. It says, it all works together for good to all those that loves the Lord. In other words, no matter how bad the situation is, we can always turn it to your favor. That is exactly what I've learned. Because just looking at the cases or the judgment against him, he has made it sure that he turns it into his favor. And voila, look at where we are today, right? So that is a lesson that I will forever cherish. That is a lesson that I've learned. Yes, this is the political what? I don't want to say a political game. I don't want to say what, but I've learned that, speaking about the political game, Jacob Zuma always speak about 3 types of politics. The politics that can be spoken by our grannies even at home. The politics that everybody can speak, either you are working or you're a granny, you're a child. But then he also say there is what he terms it a scientific politics, right? He's been saying that the powerful one is a scientific politics. I think from his move and his just anything that he does, you just kind of learn that you know what, it does not matter the situation you are in. There's always there's always something good out of that situation. It does not matter the circumstances you find yourself in. There's always a way forward. That is what I'm learning from these moves, Jacob Zuma. Like from where I was seated before, I would have easily concluded that, you know what, it's over here. It's done and dusted. But the man was like, no. That's not how we reason here. That's not how we do things here. It's not over until we decide it's over. For anything that you think it's over, we will make sure that we prove it to you that it's not over. That is the exact lesson I have learned in following that. And also, you have learned one lesson that I've also came to realize here or learn is that with Jacob Zuma, nothing is look. The man, just like what Vustenberg will always say, Jacob Zuma is always 5 steps ahead, right? And that's also something that is quite interesting. I am learning, and those are lessons that you learn by looking at these things unfolding, and you kind of feel like, okay, so in my real life, right, in my day-to-day life, just by observing the things that are unfolding on my in my eyes or before me, I then learn that for anything and everything that I do in life, I've got to be 5 steps ahead. When plan A fail, I move to plan B. Or when plan B fail, I move to plan C. Plan C fail, I move to plan D. D fail, I move to plan E. But all those things can never fail, you know. And number two is this thing of composure. If you're looking at Jacob Zuma in parliament, right? Even when he was in parliament, he has maintained his composure under an intense pressure, but he will maintain composure because then when you come in a difficult situation, you are able to see things the way you should. But then I think that is good. Look, you can only achieve that with a certain training. Like, you remember what the EFF used to do to Jacob Zuma in parliament, right? It was an immense pressure. Remember what DA used to do to Jacob Zuma in parliament? It was an immense pressure. Remember what the media used to do to Jacob Zuma? It was an immense pressure. But under these circumstances, under this intense pressure, the men always maintain. Because just think about it. Think about it this way. If it was me, chances are some of the people that were doing this to me, I would have insulted them back. I would have, you know what I'm saying? We have seen Ramaphosa early on when the pressure was that high. He told about Steenhuisen, shut up, Steenhuisen. That shows you that, yeah, you are not built for this thing. But on the far right, you see Abu Jacob Zuma maintaining their composure. So if you can do that, that's a lesson that I'm learning, Mina, just looking at how Jacob Zuma does things and how things are unfolding. If you can successfully practice that, it will help one, even whether you are or whether you are in a business, right? When things are collapsing, when things are not going well, you just maintain your cool. You just compose yourself, right? When you are in a relationship and things are falling apart, if you can just maintain your composure, right? Just compose yourself. You will be able to see the problem and the solution while you are in this problem. So I'm saying these things that are happening to me is not just political whatever. I don't know whether I should call it political game. To me, it's not just a political game, but I'm learning things that I can apply on my day-to-day life, right? Things that I can apply on business thing as well. The issue of maintaining a composure, no matter the situation, no matter the pressure, no matter the circumstances you find yourself in, but just make sure that you maintain the composure, you remain calm in under any storm. I've seen that from Jacob Zuma. Number two is the issue of being a strategist, knowing, planning, and anticipating, you know what I'm saying, the next move from either anyone next to you or anyone opposing you. The men always prepare and the men always anticipate because you see it by his movement that, you know what, he anticipate. The other thing that I've also learned just by looking at how things are unfolding, looking at how Jacob Zuma does these things, right, is the other thing that I've learned is that if I were to start a business today, I'm going to need to surround myself with people that are like-minded, right? Because if I have people that are like-minded, you know, people that will maintain their cool, sit down, look at things, and be able to strategize, under an immense pressure, be able to come up with a very proper solution. Those are people that I think I'm going to associate with. But then from this as well, the issue of me studying Jacob Zuma, I also look at this from a relationship point of view that, you know what, one has got to choose the right partner. That is a lesson that I'm learning out of this entire situation. I'm learning that, you know what, if you've got a right partner, like it or not, you stand a chance to win. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. If you don't have an annoying wife, things are spiraling out of control, but you've got a partner that says, you know what, things are bad. How do we do it? You know, not a partner that will just scream at you. You know what? You found me at home. Everything was okay. You brought me here. Look at the situation. No, but a partner that will say, hey, things are bad. You know what? Let's maintain our cool. Let's solve this problem. That is a lesson I am learning from this entire situation. I'm learning that also when you select friends that are like-minded, friends that will influence. You know, I'm talking about things that I've learned just by looking at these things unfolding in my presence. I don't want you to just consume without you being changed by what you are seeing. I want you to to summarize things in your own way and say, what are you learning? The other thing as well that I'm learning is that look, because when you're looking at the state capture, for instance, there was a professor, I think I forgot the name, but he's from University of Pretoria. He once said that Jacob Zuma set us here. He trapped us, and then we arrested him. But in us arresting Jacob Zuma, we fell under the trap. We got him arrested. But then at the end of the day, remember at the time where Jacob Zuma was arrested, he had to answer. You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to answer the issue of state capture, how it happened. But when you arrest him, he can no longer answer that. The lesson that I learned from that was that sometimes you've got to choose something that looks like a defeat. That is something also that I've learned from the biblical, from the Bible as well. And also, somebody once taught me this lesson. So let me start with Jacob Zuma. He chose that where a position that looked like a most humiliating position and a position that a lot of people would have avoided. But he chose that option to say, you know what, let's do this so that you can arrest me, but when you arrest me, then I don't have to answer all of your questions. You know what I'm saying? And then he escaped that. Let me show you in the Bible. Where have you noticed that whenever there was a war during Jesus' times, have you noticed that Jesus never engaged in that? He will run away. Let me also show you something. On my personal life, I was taught by this lady, a friend of mine in Eastern Cape called Winnie. There was a time where I was at church and people were busy gossiping about me. And it was one of the most difficult times to find yourself in, where you know that people are lying about you. But she said to me, Bongan, if you are going to tell these people who go to you are right, if you are going to force yourself in telling them that you are right, they are going to suspect that. Why are you trying to convince them? It means that you are wrong. So he says to me, you're going to continue as if it's normal. You know what? Some people, I caught them gossiping about me, but she says, keep quiet. You are only going to answer a person who's going to come to you and ask. You know what I'm saying? So now I know who's talking about me, and some will even come and tell me that so and so said this. And I know I can confirm it. But then you have to maintain your composure in that situation. The lesson I learned from that was that, I learned a hard lesson that if you're not talking to me, I'm not going to answer you, even if I know that you are talking about me. But if you're not talking to me, the difference is if you're not talking to me, I'm not going to answer you. Even when I know that you're talking about me, but you're not talking to me, so why should I answer you? Those are some of the attributes that I've learned just looking at this political figure. As a Christian, I just drew those lessons to say, hey, you know what? I should embrace this to my own personal life. The other one that I think, I wouldn't talk about polygamy, obviously, something that I wouldn't do. I wouldn't be a polygamist, obviously. Right. So those are some of the things that I've learned, and I was like, you know what? I need to apply this to my own personal life. Right. Yeah. How many lessons have you learned just by looking at what is transpiring in this country. Look, from a political point of view and say, okay, this is the character that I can learn. Oh, this is an attribute into this person's character that I need to adopt. And this will influence me positively as I continue with, as I journey into this life thing. What have you learned? I've told you about what I've learned, observing this political, whatever you want to call it, transpiring in front of me. So I'm going to be waiting to hear your comments and read it in the comment section below. So I will see you guys on the next video. But until such a time, good people, please take care.